drunken hour, hooting at the cloud. Welcome to our live stream, OG After Dark.
Woo! Boy, that was quite the debacle in Chapel Hill. What is up? It is just past 3:30 on a Saturday afternoon. Alongside Joe Giglio, I'm Joe Ovies. This is an OG afternoon since it's still light outside. Giglio's there at a tailgate at Carter Finley Stadium. I'm back at the home base after I went to the I'm just going to say today was a really great Ludacris concert ahead of the blue-white scrimmage at the Smith Center. And if you wanted to hang out on Franklin Street, get your Cosmic Cantina like I did, go to He's Not Here to enjoy a blue cup, and then go watch some basketball later. I don't think you could have asked for a better day in Chapel Hill. Ludacris at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then basketball in the afternoon to go see Caleb Wilson. Joe, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a great afternoon to me.
I don't know what else. Was there something else today? I don't know. I got Luda in the morning and Caleb Wilson in the afternoon. Is there something else?
Unfortunately, there was something else, and it was this. That was Dabo telling Bill, "Move, Bill, get out the way," right from the jump. I mean, that was Jeff Bizdellic-esque. You show respect by showing no respect with the trickeration for the 75-yard touchdown, and the rest of the half pretty much went like that. Just absolutely nothing that North Carolina could do went right, and that game was over at halftime, and it was a slog in the second half, and everybody bailed in Chapel Hill, Joe.
Still going on. 38-10 right now with a minute left. Here's the truth, Joe. The second Bill Belichick was hired, that trick play was dialed up. The first play of the game, double pass. Hey, Joe, that was not installed on Wednesday. That was installed on December 14th, okay?
Yeah.
That was, Joe, I know you won't do it, so I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You called this shit from the jump. You said, if I'm Dabo with 2 titles and you think, I'm just a college coach, I don't know what I'm doing. Buddy, from the jump in the chamber, the very first play of this game was a trick play that they've been working on since spring.
I had somebody in my mentions. I think it was it might have been to the sports phone. It might have been on Twitter or something like that. And it was essentially making fun of Clemson as though, wow, you got to break out a trick play to get this UNC team. I'm like, you are not seeing the vision. You
don't understand what this is about.
No, you have you have not read the room correctly. Okay, if you think that the reason why they broke out that trick play is that they felt that they needed the trick play to get one over on UNC. No, that was to, as you like to say, put it in Bill Belichick's ear. And I don't know, maybe Bill Belichick is into that sort of thing. I have no idea. But that's what Dabo wanted to do in Chapel Hill today. Put it in Bill's ear, and he did it from the jump. And again, I'm not going to take much away about Clemson here. Like, what does this mean for Clemson going forward? I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to play the dumb game that I heard on ESPN where they're trying to spin it in, well, Bill did say on game day that it's going to take a couple recruiting cycles. No, that's not why you brought Bill Belichick here. It was yet another embarrassing performance, and clearly the fans were embarrassed by it because they cleared the fuck out. I mean, here we were talking about it this week. See, I don't know, Jeannie. I don't know if this was a fuck you or still Clemson.
No, but I love that, Jeannie. The number of texts that I got today that were like, because there's something to that. There's something to that. Okay. But part of it is what you were saying from the jump. I'm a college coach. You think I suck. You think you're better than me.
Yeah.
You think you're going to come down and be the 33rd college team, NFL team, and watch me pipe you. Because you were right about this. Honestly, Joe, you called this from the jump. Seriously.
Well, I think we're going to see it a couple of different times the rest of the way if we haven't seen it already, especially with the way the social media teams have been dunking on UNC, whether it's TCU and how online they are. We saw what Central Florida did. And I got to imagine the rest of the way, this easy schedule that everybody was focused on, a lot of these teams are circling it to make a point and have their field day on it.
You can say me. I was focused on it. It's fine. You can call me out. I'm fine.
But the thing is,
I'm a big boy. You can call me out.
I'm not focusing on you in this regard because it's something that everybody does when it comes to college football. No, everybody does it in college football.
Honestly, look at their schedule. Like, goddamn, man.
I get it. So that's why I'm not really focused on, is this Clemson getting right? Is Clemson getting back? Is it a fuck
no. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
It is absolutely nothing to do with whether or not Clemson is back. Because to your point, if Clemson, this is where I will give you credit when it comes to the whole Clemson being back. If they were going to do the FU, we're still Clemson, that happens after a slog against
Syracuse.
Troy. It happens against after Troy, you're not looking so hot. You're like, all right, fine. We're going to show you now that we're in league play. All right, so you get got by Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech has a knack. It has a knack for beating top 25 ACC teams.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So be it. Shout out to Georgia Tech and Key and what they've been able to do. All right, so you do that against Syracuse. No, that clearly was not the case. So there you go. From Bull City Coordinators on YouTube, I think the sleeping giant is officially dead. It was never. It was comatose from the jump, man. That's how it always has been.
So first play of the game is a trick play.
Yeah,
for Clemson. That's not a play they worked on this week. This is literally a play they worked on in December.
Yeah.
First play of the game for Carolina, as I tried to tell you, they won't beat themselves. They're going to be smart. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be prepared. Carolina's first play of the game was a procedural penalty after an open date. If you'd like to wound Bill Belichick's soul, tell him after an open date, our first play is going to be a procedural penalty. Because I'll be honest with you, if he gives a fuck about what is going on at Carolina, you will not stand for mistakes that are correctable. Joe, the first play after an open date cannot be a procedural penalty. Cannot. You can fuck straight off with your 8 Super Bowls. Because you know why you have any of them? Lawrence Taylor and Tom Brady. That's it.
So to your point, UNC does not look prepared to play Power 4 competition. That is on the coach. Talk about evaluation, learning curves, all the other hand-waving nonsense that we've heard this week, and they tried to use it on College Game Day today.
Reset.
It's a reset. They'll have another open date because I guess they'll have another reset. Come on, y'all. I saw somebody trying to put this all on Mike Lombardi. No, Mike Lombardi is what he is. Bill Belichick is the one who knows what Mike Lombardi is about, and he still decided to give Mike Lombardi the job.
Coaches the team, Joe.
And he coaches the team.
He coaches the team.
Joe. And here's the thing about preparation.
I'm so mad at myself. You had this right. I had this wrong. Joe, I know you don't care about that, but what I'm saying to you is you cannot take a week off and have the very first play of the game be a procedural penalty.
See, I think there's a worse one than the procedural. I think there's a worse one. I think there's a worse one than that, though. You're focused on the procedural penalty. No. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, right? And everybody's lauding Belichick about game preparation, things like that. And you're right. A procedural penalty after an open date is the worst thing you could possibly do. But you know what I thought was worse than that? Clemson, through a series of penalties, was looking at a 1st and 40, okay? Eventually, they had to go for a long field goal, and UNC had to call a timeout right before the snap because they had too many men on the field. What?
No. Hey, all the people who think I'm drunk or whatever, here's the truth. I thought they would be good. Honestly, I thought they'd be 8-4. I thought they would be well coached. I thought they would not make mistakes. I thought they would be good on defense. I was wrong, but I now want to tip my hat to Dabo.
Yeah.
It's 14-3. Okay? It's 4th and 3 from midfield. You want to talk about disrespect?
Yeah.
You want to talk about disrespect? He was like, you can't stop me.
Yeah.
4th and 3 from midfield. By the way, runs the same play that Dave Doran ran last week on 4th and 1. A simple out. They couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it. So, what is any of this about for Carolina? Because I am now at a complete loss. I thought they would be 8-4. I thought they'd be a bowl team. They started Max Johnson today. That's what I would have done. I would have gone to Max Johnson today and said, please save me. We can get to 6 wins. How do they get there, Joe? What's the way home from here for Carolina? Honestly, what is the way home from here?
I don't. There is. Well, the answer is there is no way home because I get what you're saying. You got to go to Max Johnson. They did the right thing going to Max Johnson today.
Yes.
But it's also showing you that they have no vertical deep threat that they can rely on. They're just not talented enough, and it doesn't really matter who it is that you put out there. At quarterback, if the rest of the team is not good, both defensively and offensively. Jeannie, yeah, somewhere Mac is smiling, thinking about how do you like me now? Well, to that point, Jeannie, let's go to the OG Sports phone because there were some amusing things that ended up coming through the OG Sports phone.
919-444-2211. Call the OG Sports phone and curse or don't.
So there was a guy who called in, I think six or seven times. He called 6 or 7 times, and this, I believe, was his 6th call. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
All right, call number 6. This is Joe again from Charlotte. The band just left field. Boy. That might be the best we get to see as fans today. The band just leaving the field.
I believe that was it. So he then texts me this saying this is how about the Mac Brown stuff. So he texts me this and he sent this to the video board. Right? So, like, what was it? Let me see if I can find it again here. Yeah, he says, yeah, Joe from Charlotte again. I just uploaded this pic from 2023 to the Jumbotron queue. I want to know if it actually got onto the Jumbotron when you do the hashtag thing. And it says, Mac would have known what to do with $20 million. So that's how bad. And hey, man, good for him for sticking around. All right, let's go to a 919.
Train just not even a slow train.
The calls are getting unhinged, man. All right, let's go to a 704.
Hey, ball is on the 32-yard line. 4th and 11, 35-3, and Fred Kitchens in the third quarter decides to kick a field goal when they're down 35-3. Like, I know it's probably a losing effort at this point, but theoretically at this point in the third quarter, it seems like you want to play to win still and try to get back in the game if you can. And they conceded a field goal, and fans are just out here rising up with their rise up towels, wave them as they file out to go somewhere. What is going on here? Why did they not try to go for it? And then now I got the brass here playing Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred. I guess I'm proud of that, but I'm embarrassed to be a Tar Heel football fan. Holy crap.
So that was an interesting call, and actually highlights something that I did not like watching in this game. If you are down that much, you got to try something. It's very similar to the conversations we've had about Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers. Like, you're down this much. Why are you playing so scared? What do you have to lose at this point? You're already down a bunch of scores. Bryn Renner is on the Tar Heel Radio Network, former North Carolina quarterback, and he was getting on the coaching staff for continuing to play man coverage when clearly it wasn't working. And number two, getting into halftime, you're down that many points. Why are you not trying to run like a 2-minute drill? Why are you not trying something? Why are you not trying to get something on tape? Why just try anything to get it going? And obviously they're playing scared, or they just look like they're in over their heads. So that was a constant refrain from Carolina fans, and honestly one that I agree with, because they look completely unprepared and they look disinterested in trying to win a football game right now.
I'm going to be honest with you, seriously. You know, you're married to a Carolina grad.
Yeah.
I don't have that many Carolina grads that text me, but I had 2 today that did, and they said, he's a thief.
Yeah.
He's a fucking thief. And that's what it is at this point. I'm being serious right now.
Who's to blame, though? Who's to blame?
I tried to tell you this from the jump. He wants his kid. He wants his other kid. He wants Lombardi. He wants Lombardi's kid. There's no interaction with his players. There's no interaction with his staff. There's no urgency whatsoever. And that hurts me. I'm a state grad. I'm a Jersey guy. I hate the fucking Patriots. But I'll tell you this. I'm a competitor. And it hurts me to watch him not give a single fuck about the outcome of the football game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
Like, I mean,
but that's why. That's why I blame you. That's why. That's why I blame.
What are you doing?
That's why I blame the admins here. You know, like from Ron on Blue Sky, they've pretty much admitted that they came in and really didn't have a clue what they were going to be doing. Our administration just thought it was a great idea, practically handed over a blank check, and didn't bother to figure out what they didn't know about what they were doing. That was stupid. And I basically said, yeah, John Pryor and that. Remember the football? You brought up the football Bible earlier this week, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just now thinking to myself that the football Bible was more of like a door-to-door salesman, and you're trying to sell these things. And obviously the encyclopedia bit the heart. Yeah. Right. They bought the encyclopedia. But oh no, your kids are going to use it all the time. It'll be a useful resource. All this knowledge. Nah, did not.
I'll say this though. I will say this.
Yeah.
I believe in Carolina. I believe they will take this as a lesson to say, we're now invested. How do we fix it? I will say that. I will say that.
I disagree with you on that, because you have to let the actual adults call the shots on this one. And now we've seen in 2 instances where they haven't allowed the adults to call the shots.
I did not lose any money today. I promise you. I did not. No. That's not what this is about. Honestly, that's not what this is about. Honestly. I thought they would be a functional football team. Yeah. I thought they would be competitive. I thought he would go there and say, this is my way. Because again, think about this. He's 15 wins from immortality. 15. Like, that's really, 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 really close. 2 years. The Tennessee rejects can get rehired, but you can't. Like, Joe, as a competitor, that has to kill you. It has to kill you. So you get your girlfriend to convince you. You know the way back is to go to this shitty school in the ACC, win 9 games, 10 games, 8, and then people will be like, no, that's right. He's the greatest to ever do it. Here's the truth. You were lucky.
Wow.
You were lucky. I'd love to be that lucky. I would be. Right? I would love to be that lucky.
All success requires a little bit of luck, man.
No,
all
it
success
does.
requires a little bit of luck.
You know, think about it. Like, hey, the Falcons are never going to call a good play in the Super Bowl. That's one. The Seahawks are going to call the stupidest play in the history of football. That's 2.
I mean,
like you got to be a little
what
bit
happens? What happens if the tuck rule never happens, right? Also, shout out to the texter who said, "Oh, Clemson's up 28-3 on Bill Belichick." We know how this ends.
Curtis.
Yes, Curtis is
Right.
mad about his.
Yeah,
the worst
no,
thing
he's
you could-
right.
The worst thing you could ever do to Giglio is make him look silly. That's the worst thing.
Right?
Do.
Maybe look dumb, especially vis-a-vis you, because you said from the jump, this ain't gonna go the way you think it will.
Yeah, that actually is the worst thing that could ever happen in our business, especially locally. If I'm right,
38-10 is the final, by the way.
Okay.
38-10, so 28-3 in the first quarter. I mean,
yeah. No, I get it though. In the history of me doing this, the worst that could ever happen to another sports person in this market is if I'm right about something and they're wrong. That's usually the worst thing that could ever happen. All right, let's go to 1919.
From the jump, my friend, from the jump.
All right, hold on. Let me re-rack this. 919.
Connection to the UNC football tailgate. I was walking up past the Ludacris concert, and you were leaving, and I waved. And I was like, hey, man. And you looked at me as if, who the heck was this guy? And it was kind of awkward, but you said hi anyways. And as we walked past, my wife said to me, did you know that guy? And I said, no. I do listen to him on the radio, though. Anyways, I'm just curious your thoughts on the Ludacris concert. I thought it was pretty dope. But why did they play Smells Like Teen Spirit? Isn't that kind of weird? Like, shouldn't they just stay in their lane? Kind of like Bill Belichick should just, like, stay in the pros. Anyways, love your show. Go Heels.
Who play Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Yeah, so a couple of things to address here. I was wearing the NASCAR style hat today, walking around Chapel Hill. And as I told Kelly, I wear, and you were wearing your OG hat, the OG hat. The reason why I wear a hat like this going to a place like Chapel Hill is to remove any doubt. If you're looking at me funny, like, do I know this guy from somewhere? Let the hat be like the big sign that says, yes, that's the case. And yeah, you don't have to be awkward. Come up and say, hey, it's all good. And yeah, I did have that interaction walking towards Franklin Street to go to Cosmic Cantina after the Ludacris show. And he kind of looking at me. I'm looking at him, and it's like, okay, he must be a listener. So I just kind of gave him the hand wave and kept it moving. So we appreciate you listening, man. I appreciate you calling in. That means a lot to us, obviously, that we're part of your routines. As far as the Ludacris show goes, it essentially was very similar to the music festival I went to in Charlotte earlier this year to go see Weezer with the kids. And Pitbull was there too. And the thing here are my immediate reactions to Ludacris. And I witnessed history. Luda kept saying that this was the earliest he's ever done a show, which got going at 10 a.m. He's like, yo, I've never done this before, but y'all are hype. And it was a good crowd. It was a legitimately good crowd. And there was a good chunk of people there that were there for Ludacris and the vibes and not going to the game. Okay. That's all they were there for. And honestly, given the state of things at UNC, if I'm Bubba Cunningham or if I'm Newmark, the new guy coming in, I don't know about the football thing. I actually would go into the concert business. You've had a couple of good concerts so far with the Chapel Thrill series. So that definitely gets the business going. Franklin Street was hopping for that kind of stuff. But Ludacris has the thing about Ludacris is that what you don't realize about him, but I know this about him, but people who see him live, they forget it's not just the hit singles that he had all throughout the early 2000s. It's all the guest features he did, right? That dude was like the #1 guest guy for a few years. And you know all the tracks that he was on, and he did all the guest features to go along with that. But you know what made me really feel old, Joe? You know what really made me feel old? You remember he did a guest spot on Justin Bieber's Baby. Do you remember Baby?
Yes.
So he does this. This is the crowd. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see it was a full crowd there for the Chapel Thrill thing. And I never felt older in that. While some kids recognized some of the songs, when he did the guest feature for Baby, all the kids of a certain age were singing along with that. From Jesse on the YouTube, I've said Luda's best work is on other people's songs. Yes, that is pretty fair. Him and Andre 3000, if he's a guest on your track, Andre 3000 and Ludacris, you might as well step aside because they're going to drop the best verse on that track. They did All I Do Is Win on the remix. Same thing. The other thought I had on this, Joe, about watching Ludacris do the thing. There were a lot of college-age kids there with their parents today. And I think a few of them looked over at their mom and dad, probably more so their mom, and they watched mom sing every line to What's Your Fantasy and went, oh,
Oh,
whoa,
Mom.
whoa, mom.
whoa, mom.
Hold up now. Hold up. Yeah, Kelly's included this, by the way. So every line to What's Your Fantasy? Yeah, guys, your parents were in college once, and sometimes there are events that reveal what your parents might have been like in college. And going to watch Luda, that's definitely one of those moments. So overall, really good, man. Really good stuff. I'm glad that I went and I saw Luda at 10 o'clock in the morning, man. All right, let's go to 919. What do you got?
The Heels won the second half.
Oh, well, I mean, if you take away the first quarter,
It's fine.
Joe, here's the thing. Remember how earlier this week we were talking about Dave's worst losses, Dave Dorn's worst losses of his tenure?
Yeah.
And remember when we brought up the cold-ass night at Carter Finley Stadium where people were leaving in the first quarter because it was 28-0?
Oh, God. The Clemson. Yeah.
That was this today. And I would argue it was worse because of all the promise that Bill Belichick was supposed to bring to the table. All right, to a 919.
Hey, Joe, this is Matthew from North Hills. I'm watching this Chapel Hill Clemson game, and the genius of Bill Belichick has finally hit me. He is just getting all the tape he can on all of these ACC coaches. He knew that he was going to get their best efforts to beat him in his first year of college football. Let's look out for next year. Tar Heels winning the Natty. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Goodbye.
That's up there with the Tar Heels won the second half. That's up there with that. That's very, very good. All right, let's go to a 919.
Hello, G. Courtesy driver, 1:49 p.m. The seconds just ticked off to halftime. Clemson 35, UNC 3. All I got to say is the only schematic advantage that Bill Belichick has anymore is his Viagra prescription. Hey-oh!
Curtis. All right.
I will not go there. I will not go there.
No, I'll let Curtis continue to do that. All right, to a 336.
I'm a State fan, and I'm watching this Carolina-Clemson game, and it's not fun to watch anymore. Even hate watching the Schadenfreude has completely worn off, and I feel terrible for everybody involved. Oh, good. Yeah, there you go. Clemson just scored another touchdown, 34-3 at the end of the second. I feel sorry for the athletes. I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for the student body. I feel sorry for any alums or donors that were not involved with this debacle. This is an embarrassment for the entire state, honestly, because when Carolina is strong, everyone else is stronger. And I could say that because I'm a native. When UNC Chapel Hill is strong, everyone else is stronger. And as you can see, I'm watching them on the TV. All the kids are leaving the stadium at halftime. And they're not going to come back. And why should they? Ovies, I'm with you. I'm angry for Bubba. I've seen this coming out as a debacle from the get-go. And, everyone is going to get on y'all for talking about this all the time. No, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about because this is a great heist. This is a fraud that has been foisted upon the state of North Carolina. Carry on, fellas.
Wow, even state fans are getting tired of this. Although I saw Steve walking around. I know you're there at the Steve tailgate. Are you telling me, is Steve over it? Is he getting enjoyment from this still?
No, he's actually not. I will say this to you. That's been the number one takeaway from today's outcome.
Yeah.
Is that this guy literally, and that was my number one takeaway when he was hired, was this guy's stealing from the state. He really is. And you can sit here and say, well, it's Tar Heel, it's Ram Club money. Well, it's Ram Club money, but the school's spending money somewhere else because they don't have to spend it there. So it's just a shell game. $10 million to be what at this point? 4-8? $10 million to be 4-8.
Yeah.
Like, he's the highest paid employee in the state of North Carolina. To win 4 games, to not be interested in coaching his team, to have a procedural penalty on the first play of the game after an open date. Come on, man.
Let's go to
No. You know what this is? One of my favorite moments in Duke history. My guy John Rennie. When I asked him, hey, like, what's up with Coach K in Los Angeles? He goes, it's a stick up, brother.
Stick 'em up.
It's a stick up. And that's what this was. You got a stick up. For real.
Yeah.
There's no way out from here. Honestly. Right. There's no way out from here.
We got a couple more. Let's go to a 252.
Gentlemen, this Clemson UNC game has gotten to the point that it's hard to even find the score on ESPN. I think they are burying this thing below because they want all the other people to go watch the other good games that are on. I've never seen a score hidden on the ESPN ticker before, but I think I just saw it today. So I come in, I've been working outside, come in for a late lunch. I'm kind of doing the whole digital minimalism thing, so I don't have a smartphone, so I can't check the score on my phone. So I turn on the TV. Let's see how this Carolina game is going. Let's see if we can watch some football at lunch. I'm sitting there. I watch CFB on ESPN ticker go by. They've got the ABC game. They've got the ACC Network game. Heck, they've even got a Big 12 game on ESPN+. No Carolina on ESPN to be found. They don't even show it on the ACC section of the ticker. They have completely erased it seems. And so I've got to wait for halftime to be over to even see the score. And boy, was I happy when I saw that 35-3 on there. What an absolute disaster. And Pack fans, I just want to encourage you. The Joes kind of corrected me a little bit on me saying last week that we need to wait till next year. That was kind of silly now that I think about it. But hold the line because Dave Doran is going to have one heck of a swan song at the end of November. Let's give him his opportunity to do that. And it sounds like it's probably a done deal that he's probably going to be gone eventually anyways, and we may not even have to worry about it. But, man, what a disaster in Chapel Hill. I think I'm with Jill. I think I have to figure out a way to buy him out of this huge contract. This is a disaster. Go Pack. Good to see the Tar Heels in pain.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember if I put. Did I play this 910? I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me see if I play. You tell me if I can't remember. Hold on a second.
Lifelong UNC fan here. Graduated class of 2021. Also an Atlanta Falcons fan, starting during the Matt Ryan tenure in 2008. Did Bill Belichick effectively ruin both my favorite college team and my NFL team? When's basketball season start? Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Caleb Wilson.
Hey, like I said, I got faith. If we're gonna go full, I don't think we went far enough with the Bizdelic. I'll repeat what I said at the jump. Oh, UNC won the second half. Cool. How about we do this? If you're a Carolina fan, how about you just focus on the Ludacris concert to start and the blue-white game after, and you just had a really nice afternoon in the middle. Sounds like a good day to me. That's
Perfect
what it sounds
weather.
like to me. Yeah. Speaking of Ludacris, from Bill. Where did it go? I thought I had it. Where did it? Oh man, here we are with the live stuff. Here we go from Bill related to Luda. Kids don't understand how we sweaty dry humped each other in the bump and grind bars back in the day.
Yeah, there's a lot of pre-com, Bill.
Yeah. I was not expecting that phrase on today's afternoon. Apparently, we work even bluer during an afternoon instead of an after dark.
I mean, it's after dark or
I was just
something.
thinking about a young Joe Giglio from New Jersey, all up in the 5-0 on Hillsborough Street.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. I'm 5-0 right now, so.
All right, last one, then we'll get out of here from the 617.
Hey guys, it's Al. So about 10,000 different things I could say about this right now, and I'm sure the phone is filling up with a bunch of fans of other schools that are just enjoying the schadenfreude of this. But there's something that I think Ovies said earlier this week that sticks in my head, and I think it's one thing that maybe non-UNC fans need to understand is just how mad you were for Bubba on his behalf, and how there is a significant portion of the UNC fan base, including this fan, that felt that way when this hire happened. You have an athletic director who miraculously got you out of one of the worst scandals that you could have imagined without it costing anything on the basketball side. He has a track record of when he's actually chosen his own coach, those coaches have been successful. Yes, Larry Fedora flamed out at the end, but he was good in the beginning. He just couldn't carry that over. Volleyball is starting to improve. He made the right call with the women's soccer, as Giglio likes to crow about. Has been right with his baseball hire when there was the retirement there. Women's basketball has been completely rejuvenized with the hiring of Courtney Banghart. His chance on hiring Erin Matson as a coach for field hockey has played out beautifully, as she has already won a title, came close last year, and they're favorites this year. The man knows how to spot talent. He has been at one of the forefront of changing tides in college sports. And yes, he prefers the traditional model of college sports, but he recognized the changing tides and probably could have handled this hire as well as anybody else could if you had given the investment that you gave to this guy. But instead, the cronies of the BOT were pissed off about the way he treated Mac, who forced him into hiring Mac in the first place, and then overrode him to get this shit show that's in Chapel Hill right now, and then on top of that decided to take a victory lap before the TCU game. So I truly hope that John Pryor can just fuck off, shut up, and let people who are in charge of athletics do the job that they were hired for and pick the right person, even if it's going to be next year, because now we're stuck with this for at least another year because of these contracts.
So we can close on this. And what Al's referring to was on the paid side of the YouTube membership of on OG Mailbag, which, by the way, welcome, David Jones. You are now a YouTube channel member. We appreciate that, just for a low price of $5. Mikey P also throwing in $1.99 because he's trying to get Giglio a DD. Well, you have your DD. You have Jess.
Oh,
Jess
yeah.
is there, right? Campbell Lesson.
Yeah.
Like I say, Campbell
What's
Legend.
up?
Jess is there. So she's there. She'll be. She's
got her Campbell shirt on.
Oh, does she? There's Jess.
No.
Show the Campbell shirt. Now, yeah, there we go. There we go.
Chuck. Hold on.
What do we got?
Campbell employee Chuck.
There you go. Enjoy a nice afternoon of football.
No, he's got a son at Carolina and State.
What is even the score at halftime there?
I don't even know.
Halftime's over now.
They did? Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Good stuff. So anyway, we'll wrap the afternoon on this because what Al was referring to was me getting a little fired up over the way Bubba Cunningham has been treated at UNC the last year and a half. I thought 2024 was probably the most insulting year at Carolina that Bubba Cunningham has had. It started with John Pryor, the BOT guy, calling him out to the mat over budgets because he wanted to whip his dick out to match Clemson and Florida State when it came to all the stuff related to conference realignment and the lawsuits and everything else. And Bubba had to shut that shit down, right? And then it happened again when Bubba had to be the adult in the room and tell Mac Brown, dude, your time is up. It's not working here. John Pryor got mad again. And then that led to where we are today, where Bubba could have run a serious, actual adult football coaching search that maybe it ends in John Summerall, maybe it doesn't. But the point is, you can get a dude like Kirk Cignetti to turn things around real quick, because Cignetti is a college football guy that brought an entire freaking roster over with him. So there's a college roster, I might add. And instead, they went off the rails again and they hired Bill Belichick, and now you end up here. So these were all active choices. Everything that led to Bill Belichick was a choice. So when I start hearing the spin, or in some cases the gaslighting, that, well, he needs to get his guys here, he needs another recruiting cycle. Not in 2025, y'all. It doesn't work that way anymore. Also, to get back to how Joe started things today, say what you want about the 8 Super Bowls that they keep wanting to say, even though he was the head coach for 6 of those 8, but now it's magically 8. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. Although I guess it makes sense. Carolina does have a national championship that a bread company awarded them. So I guess it's all good there. So why you might as well add them to it, right? So nothing about the Super Bowl shows you that they're even freaking prepared to play football. So the thing's been a complete, absolute mess. And we'll just go ahead and close on that. And it's not going to be Bubba's problem. That's the other part about this. It ain't going to be Bubba's problem. It's going to be the new AD's problem with the leadership. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the OG afternoon. As always, we thank Bloomin' Blinds. Check them out, bloominblinds.com. You get 10 or more window treatments, you are going to get 10% off, and they bring you all of our ACC football coverage. Big thanks to Mikey P for the very inspired afternoon graphics today as well. And one last thing, Joe. You like to say NC State wins, but Dave Doran loses, right?
Yeah.
So State's going to beat Campbell today. That's not going to be a problem. But you know who's up on Virginia Tech right now? Yeah. Wake Forest. I don't know what the final is, but Wake's up on Virginia Tech. So there you go. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. What are you drinking, by the way?
I was drinking, actually, Greenweller.
Oh, forget it. All right. Go hydrate. Go hydrate. We'll talk to you all later.